It's time for Real Talk with Brian and Dan, the weekly talk radio show dedicated to discussing important real estate topics, plus insight into the local community. With a combined experience of over 50 years as local real estate brokers from the East Side Real Estate team at Keller Williams Realty Bellevue. Here's your hosts, Brian Levitt and Dan Edwards.
Hey, welcome to Real Talk. I'm Dan.
I'm Brian.
And we are happy to have you today. This is our first episode. We are so excited. Is Real Estate Insights, Market Updates, feature our businesses in the community, and then talk more about the local community in addition to that. But let me first start by introducing you to Brian Levitt. So, Brian Levitt, tell me about your journey into real estate.
I started my work career in law enforcement and found that that was difficult for my family, and family being a very high priority, decided to get into a business that would give me the opportunity to work my own hours and make enough money to be sole income for my family.
Okay.
And real estate's done that.
All right. So how long have you been doing real estate?
Since 1984.
Wow, that's weird. You don't even sound that old. So since 1984, do the math. What's that, 38?
35 years, 36 years,
yeah. That's why I'm in real estate, because I'm not great at math.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, so then you got into real estate to empower your ability to have a lifestyle with your friends and family. What was the biggest thing you discovered that you love about it?
You know, I love helping people, and I think that the most satisfaction for me is that moment of joy that I see with my clients when they achieve their dreams, their goals. You know, I will never give up the opportunity to hand over the keys to the new homeowner. That is just a moment of joy. And that's what drives me, is to help people achieve their dreams.
Awesome. So when you're not doing real estate, what are some of the hobbies and interests that you have?
Oh, gosh. Gardening, sailing, family time. That's a big priority. I've got 2 grandkids now, and spending time with them is, what really drives me.
So tell me about what do you grow in your garden?
Oh, you name it. We've got pretty extensive gardens, and we have about an acre in garden right now.
So with the weather that's right now, I know that I had a friend who was in gardening, and she said, oh, this year's going to be great for salad, or this year's going to be great for tomatoes. I know this isn't a vegetable garden show, but...
No, that's my big goal is getting tomatoes to ripen here, and getting pretty good at it, but it's taken a while.
In the Northwest.
Northwest,
yeah. Certainly.
Yep.
And then you've lived here on the East Side how long?
Since we moved here. So, to think about that.
You don't do the math again.
83.
83.
Yep. So a year after I got here, got into real estate.
Excellent.
So.
Excellent. All right.
Yeah.
So now it's your turn.
Okay. I'd like to introduce Dan Edwards. Dan,
hello.
Dan, we started working together in 2006.
Yeah, 2006.
And Dan was brand new to real estate, and I knew from the start he was going to be successful because he's got a great positive mental attitude and willingness to just do the work. And so, having said that, what drives you? What spins your propellers?
You know, it's funny. I've been spending time preparing for this. I didn't really prepare for answering these questions. Okay, so it comes down to home and a household. When I think about real estate and the process going into it, I've been doing it now for 13 years, and there's a lot of stuff, right, that stresses each client out throughout the process. But I realize that what it is about, it's about a home. It's about a place where memories are forged, families grow, individuals invest, and they grow their personal wealth. But it's a home. It's a place where you kick your shoes off. You paint the walls. You tile the floor. It's yours. And that just excites me. Like you said, never give up handing over the keys. I'll never forget the feeling that individuals express to me that when they finally have something of their own. And then the other part of it is helping people when they sell their home, realizing that they spent 30 years in that home raising a family, how much it's an honor to be a part of that.
Yep, I agree. And guiding them through the process of letting go, that's really difficult for a lot of people.
It surprised me at first, to be honest with you. Yeah.
So what do you do when you're not selling homes?
Well, so I raise a family. I've got 2 fantastic kids and 2 fur babies. My 2 dogs, Taco and Nacho. I'll be sharing more about them later. I guess I would mention my kids too, but I mean, So raising a family has been definitely a passion for me, and then I've got these calluses on my hands from doing CrossFit. So those of you that are out there that are CrossFit aficionados, that's something that I really enjoy doing. It keeps me balanced in life.
Terrific.
Yeah. All right, so that's our introductions. That's Brian Levitt, Dan Edwards. We're going to be doing Real Talk over the next couple of months and years. Who knows? So let's see. What else have we got to talk about? Oh, what the show today?
The show
Do you want to
today,
talk about what the show's about today?
we're going to be interviewing some of our key players here, the people that really do the heavy lifting.
Yeah.
I'd like to say it's Dan and I, but
Right.
okay, it is. But yeah, are you ready to go into an interview?
Well, we can do that. We're going to get a break before we do that. So we're going to be interviewing folks with our team, and we're going to reach out to Justin, Aaron, and then. But first, we're going to talk to Gabby. So Gabby's she's busy working. She's not in the studio, so we're going to actually have her call in. So, all right. So come back after the break. We'll be talking to all the fantastic members of the Eastside Real Estate team.
Not sure if now is the right time to sell? Worried you missed the market? The Eastside Real Estate team specializes in helping homeowners maximize their equity when selling. With our proven premier listing service, our clients have sold their homes for more money in less time than the competition. We know you have many choices when working with a real estate agent, but with the Eastside Real Estate team, you get a team of highly qualified, experienced agents. From staging to deciding if your property is market ready for top dollar. If you're considering selling, call the Eastside Real Estate team at 425-200-4093. Or check out our website at the eastsiderealestateteam.com, a subsidiary of Keller Williams Realty in Bellevue.
No other station delivers this much variety. Alternative Talk 1150.
Welcome back to Real Talk with Brian and Dan. I am Dan.
I'm Brian.
And we're going to talk a little bit more about what's going on in the market right now. So, Brian, how's the market?
Oh, Dan, there's never been a better time to buy.
You say that all the time.
I know. It's always true. No, right now, we just saw interest rates take the biggest dip we've seen in 14 years, which really makes homes more affordable. It really brings that mortgage payment down and either allows the buyer to pay less or buy more.
Yeah.
So there's a really terrific opportunity.
The
right
thing
now.
I saw, I was an article with mortgagefutures.com, and I think it said that the cost of money, right? So a mortgage for a $500,000 home is about $90 per month cheaper than it was at this time last year.
Last year, that's right.
So have we seen any crazy activity for sellers?
You know, we are. We'd gone through a little bit of a slowdown in the fall, but we've just bumped right back up. I listed a beautiful ranch-style home in Bellevue last week. Had about a 12-hour market time. Just got the a terrific offer, lots of interest. In fact, Justin was helping me with that one and met some of the neighbors. We still have a list of buyers that would be interested in that house, and I think you may have met a couple more.
Yeah, Justin, what kind of questions were you getting when you told the neighbors that the house sold in, basically in a day? Yeah.
Yeah, the neighbors were actually looking forward to the open house, but the offer there was pending. We were pending too quickly on that house. So I was talking to them, and a lot of them raised the concerns that the market was cooling off. But it was nice to get out there and talk to them and just really see that we couldn't even get to the open house. So and I just yeah. So right.
Yeah. So the funny thing about that is Brian's seen many cycles, many.
Too many.
Many. No. Brian's seen many cycles, but a lot of people's current memory is of the current crash in 2008, which was like my third year in the business. Mm-hmm. So often people are saying, "Hey, the slowdown happened. We're going to crash. We're going back down." That's what a lot of people would say. So, Aaron, when you hear that from people, what do you tell them?
Well, I tell them that the market is still very, very good, but I also like to kind of flip that idea and let the buyers know that they still have opportunities because there's more inventory. and some places are staying on the market, with several weeks of days on market. So it's kind of like a catch-22. We're really in a really good balance right now.
Yeah, Brian, what do you
Yeah.
tell people about days on market?
We're seeing inventory grow. That's helping a lot because we came through a market where there really was low inventory. So now that it's rising, there's more opportunities. You mentioned you'd made a contingent offer years ago. Those are hard to get accepted. I'm getting contingencies accepted,
Yeah.
which means that a little less market volatility, so a more balanced market. We're coming out of a strong seller's market into a much more balanced market.
Yeah, and the thing about contingencies is they've got to be on the right home, right?
Right.
So a lot of times a home just hits the market and people think, oh, let me write a contingent offer on that. Well, sellers are real reluctant, right,
Yeah.
to do that.
And just for our listeners, when we refer to contingency in that context, because there can be many contingencies in an offer, we're talking about contingent upon the sale of the buyer's existing home.
Right.
And many sellers are reluctant to accept that. But if we package it properly, we can show them the benefit of accepting the contingent offer, which would be a strong offer based on the sale of a home that's already prepared and ready to go on market.
Yeah, and we can do a whole show on that, on contingent
let's do
sale.
that.
Yeah, let's definitely do that as another future topic. So in general, though, if you are a seller, what would you say is the health or speed of the market for a seller?
It's slowed down from the peak, which is, again, a good thing in a balanced market. So I'm not seeing 10 offers on my listings. I'm seeing 1 or 2 really good ones. And that means buyers that are prepared are having opportunities to buy the right home. I mentioned the one in Bellevue that went in a day, but with a really well-qualified, well-prepared buyer. So both buyer and seller are very pleased with the transaction we put together.
Awesome. So one of the things that's also you're seeing the heat of the market, it depends on the location, right? So certain locations are going to go quicker than others. The location here in Bellevue Central, if it's a good home at a reasonable price,
It's going to go.
it's going to
Go
go.
fast, yeah.
Yeah.
You've probably all heard this, but the 3 most important things in real estate: location, location, location.
I haven't heard that.
Oh, yeah, I've heard that one a couple million times. Bellevue is such a prime market that if it's priced in the range, it's going to go and go quickly. In fact, I had another one week prior that we went in contract over the weekend, and a buyer who's so excited about this house, just the perfect match. So
what bit of advice would you give a buyer in this market to be prepared for what we're looking at right now?
get pre-approved for your financing. If you need a mortgage, get approved. One of the things that we do is we do a very in-depth interview to sit down and really understand what your priorities are. So get educated, get informed, get pre-approved, and start the house hunt.
There you go. All right.
What's your take on that, Dan?
Well, for buyers, the priority is to be understanding and realistic of what it is you're looking for, and where you can afford it. Okay, so if you have an idea of finding just the right home in just the right place, unfortunately, even though the market has slowed down a little bit, it's still a market that requires you to move quickly,
Right.
and to have a realistic understanding. So, as you look at a neighborhood, let's take, Houghton, for example, right? Median home price in Houghton and the amount of available inventory in Houghton is different than, let's say, Trossachs, which is out in Sammamish. The median home price is a different style. So you need to do your research and do some detailed understanding of what you're going to get. If you're out there buying and you're thinking, well, maybe if the right home comes along, the chances of that happening is a little bit harder. So you need to be a little more flexible on what you're looking for.
So, Dan, putting you on the spot a little bit,
Okay.
what would you say some of the hottest neighborhoods on the east side are right
All
now?
Yeah, that is on my spot. On
Yeah.
the spot. So Houghton is one.
Yep, agreed.
Somerset's in
Somerset.
Bellevue.
Mhm.
And these
Ridge.
statistics. What's that?
Redmond Ridge.
Redmond Ridge.
Ridge.
Yep. And Timberline in Sammamish.
Sammamish, yes.
Is there another one? The top 5.
Those are hot markets.
Yeah, and the how I define those as hot markets are homes that are selling less than half the average days on market than the average home. So to kind of restate this, if the average home on the east side is selling in 30 days, these neighborhoods are selling in 12. That's what I define it as a hot market.
Yep.
So from the rookie of the year, what's one of your burning questions about the real estate market? I put you on the spot, huh?
Yeah, great question, Dan.
Under the bus.
For the younger people that could hear this, what is the reason for somebody that's scared to buy, looking at condos or their first home, kind of a starter home? Why should they be looking to buy instead of rent? Because I know a lot of millennials and younger people are scared of home buying because the culture's changed a little bit. And why should they be looking to buy?
One of the biggest reasons is just the joy of having your own place, but also homeowners on average have 40 times the accumulated wealth than renters. When you're renting a home, you're paying a mortgage. You're just not paying your own. So I think that a real benefit is accumulation of wealth. I've been asked the question, if I had given some cash, would it be better to put it into a home or put it into a stock market? Well, if you're gifted at picking stocks, maybe so. But a home is basically a forced savings plan that you get to live in and get the tax deduction in the meantime. So, I think that for most people, once you decide to put roots down, owning a home is the way to go.
Justin, that's a really good question. I would say the number one reason is to go through and look at what the rents are. So if you've looked at what rent is like up here, it's enormous.
It's steep.
So I would say use that as a really good point of feedback.
Also, we're going to have other guests on. There are two programs. One is the Washington State Housing Finance Commission has some down payment assistance programs. And then Home Partners of America does a rent with an option to purchase. And we're going to have these guests on in the future so we can kind of help folks bridge that gap from paying somebody else's mortgage to paying their own. So it sounds like we've got to wrap it up. That was a great conversation, you guys. I appreciate everybody participating. And we're going to sign off. I believe, we've got our segments after this. So coming up next, you're going to have some in-depth interviews with our team members. I'm Dan Edwards with Real Talk.
And I'm Brian.
Did you know when you pay rent, you're actually paying someone else's mortgage? Are you tired of missing out on owning your own home? Fact: homeowners on average have 40 times the financial net worth of renters. The Eastside Real Estate Team has been helping many first-time homebuyers find and buy their first home. They specialize in customer service and put you first. They listen first to what you're looking for, and then they take the time to make sure their clients understand every aspect of the home buying process. If owning a home has been your dream, the Eastside Real Estate Team can help you. For a free, no-hassle consultation, call 425-200-4093 or find them online at the eastsiderealestateteam.com, a subsidiary of Keller Williams Realty in Bellevue.
Find our app in the Apple App Store or Google Play Store and take us with you wherever you go. Alternative Talk AM 1150.
Welcome back to the show. I'm Dan.
And I'm Brian.
And this is Real Talk with Dan and Brian. Well, as I said when we came back from the break, that we will be talking to the team members of the Eastside Real Estate Team, and who we have on the line is Gabby Bauer, our transaction coordinator. Gabby, are you there?
Yes, I am. Hi.
Hey, say
Gabby.
hello to everybody.
Hi, everybody.
All right. So Gabby joined the Eastside Real Estate Team in 2016 as the executive assistant and transaction coordinator. Gabby's role is to ensure our clients' experience and their expectations are achieved, and also manages the marketing and back office collaboration while providing our clients with top-of-the-line expertise. Her attention to detail and proactive approach serves our clients at a high level, an approach often overlooked, and we can't say enough about how this enhances our clients' experience. So please welcome to the show, Gabby Bauer.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome, Gabby. Hey, before we get into more about your role with the team, tell us more about your current hobbies and interests.
Well, I love going on hikes now that it's nicer outside, and the waterfront that we have around here. I love going out to there with my husband and friends, and just watching movies and relaxing.
Don't you have a fur baby that you'd bring with you on these hikes?
Not yet, but I will. His name's Floyd.
Floyd. All
Yes.
right. Very good. Floyd, your dog?
Dog.
We
Yes.
are on the radio. You got to just be descriptive.
Just got to say it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes, Floyd is my dog. We rescued him from the Seattle Humane
Awesome.
about a couple months ago. He is a collie lab mix, and he has a lot of personality.
Awesome.
Pretty good dog.
What's Floyd's favorite toy?
A purple ball. It's squishy. He likes to. It lights up.
Nice.
He gets very excited.
No, we had an issue today. We're watching a friend's dog, so we've got 3 dogs in our house, and we had an issue with the ball where Taco had the ball, and he was actually going underneath the daybed because he had to keep it away from the 2 other dogs. It was really hilarious. So Gabby and I talk about our dogs all the time. It's fantastic. They're important.
Well, I wouldn't be fair if I didn't throw Samba in the mix.
Yeah, right?
He's
Brian has a
our lab border collie mix, so he's super smart and super compliant.
Yeah.
Really terrific dog.
Yeah.
That's the same as Floyd.
Yeah, there you go.
You know what? That's something we all have in common because Taco is a lab border collie mix and Nacho is a lab border collie mix and Great Dane. So make sure the other guests, make sure you talk about your animals since that seems to be an emerging theme here on today's show. Yep. And, oh, by the way, I love my daughter, too, who's here in studio, so I'd hate to say that I'm just going to talk about my animals and not my daughter. So. All right, Gabby, so as we all know, you're the hardest working member of the Eastside Real Estate team. If you were given time off for a dream vacation, where would that be?
I would go on a cruise in Europe, which I do currently have done in the past, but the dream part about it would probably get one of those nice suites on the cruise with those private balconies and your own living room.
What part of Europe? Are we talking Northern Europe or Mediterranean?
Probably like Ireland, England, Germany area would be nice.
Awesome.
I haven't been to that part yet, so that'd be cool.
Okay, fantastic.
Cool. So, Gabby, you've been with the team since 2016. What did you do before joining the Eastside Real Estate team?
I was in property management in North Carolina for 4 years, and I kind of just stumbled into it, but I enjoyed being in the real estate market, and so when I moved back to Washington, I wanted to stay in it, and so that's why I joined the team. But, yeah, I've been in real estate for almost 7 years now.
Oh, nice.
Awesome. So you wear many hats. We know that. What would you define as your role on the team?
Like you said, I wear many hats.
Right.
But I would say making sure that the client's experience is as stress-free as possible, I would say is my transaction part of it, and just making sure that they have nothing to worry about, they have no stresses, all they have to think about is moving. And then on the operations side, making sure that we have systems so the team runs as effectively and as productive as possible. And so, yeah.
Awesome.
What do you enjoy most about your role?
I like making the client's job easy for them. And so working with them and helping them through it, I enjoy making it a smooth process for them. And I also enjoy making systems. I'm a very analytical type of person. So if I can make my job and everybody else's job easier, I love to do that.
Awesome. Well, just want to say publicly, you've been working with the team now for a little over 2.5 years, and I can't tell you how often people just are thankful for Gabby handling it, Gabby taking care of making sure these things are organized. It's very, very important part of the team. So I've got a bit of a curveball for you. All right, you're not prepared for this one, but it's not major. What story do you remember with fondness about the home you grew up in? So while you're thinking about that, I'm sorry. While you're thinking about that.
I grew up in a lot of homes.
Okay.
So I would say I would spend it's kind of odd, but I would spend my summers pretty much all my life in Virginia with my grandparents. Mm-hmm. And so I partly grew up there, and so I loved spending time there and with my family because I live across the country from my family. And so that was very fun to spend a few months a year with them.
So the summers in Virginia are pretty hot, yeah?
They are,
wow.
Yes.
Wow. Fantastic.
Different from here.
Well, Brian, do you have any other questions for Gabby?
No, but I just want to say thank you for all the hard work you do. Really appreciate you being part of the team. We couldn't do it without you. We just found that out
Thank you.
when you were gone for a little while here.
Yeah.
So, no.
I heard
Thank
stories.
you, Gabby.
You heard
did.
stories.
Good. That's great.
All right. Well, after the break, we're going to visit with one of our newest team members. So thanks for joining Real Talk with Dan and Brian. We'll be right back.
Did you know when you pay rent, you're actually paying someone else's mortgage? Are you tired of missing out on owning your own home? Fact. Homeowners on average have 40 times the financial net worth of renters. The Eastside Real Estate Team has been helping many first-time homebuyers find and buy their first home. They specialize in customer service and put you first. They listen first to what you're looking for, and then they take the time to make sure their clients understand every aspect of the home buying process. If owning a home has been your dream, the Eastside Real Estate Team can help you. For a free, no-hassle consultation, call 425-200-4093 or find them online at the eastsiderealestateteam.com, a subsidiary of Keller Williams Realty in Bellevue.
Get your daily dose of variety. Alternative Talk 1150.
Hey, we're back with Brian and Dan, the Eastside Real Estate Team. Our next guest is the newest member of the team, Justin Metzger. Welcome to the show, Justin.
Thanks, Brian. It's good to be here.
Justin, tell us about yourself. Are you born and raised in the Pacific Northwest?
I am, Brian. I actually grew up on the east side. I was born in Bothell. We moved to Kirkland, North Rose Hill area, and I went to Lake Washington High School. So
Nice.
born and raised.
Born and raised, PNW. Now, we didn't have a profile for you, so I couldn't read it. So maybe you want to give just a little bit more detail about yourself. You're born and raised, Lake Washington High School. Tell me about kind of your hobbies and interests growing up.
Growing up, I played a lot of sports. I was a soccer player. I just was a pretty normal kid. I went snowboarding, skiing in the winter. I had to go.
What position did you play soccer?
I started off as a midfielder, but I like to score.
Okay.
Goals.
Oh,
That's probably
there you
why
go.
I ended up in real estate.
Right on.
Yeah. So I ended up as a forward my later years, but yeah, didn't like to run. Too much running in the midfield.
I was going to say
Yeah,
the midfielders
midfield's
are the
most
ones that
running.
run,
That's
yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Justin, what are your hobbies and interests now?
Right now, I wake up every morning. I at 5:30 look at the market. I love trading stocks, financial sector. I do fitness too. My calluses are not quite as good as Dan's right now. I could probably get back in there and lift some weights.
Too many
again.
pull-ups today. They
Oh, there you go.
shredded my hands.
Yeah. And if I'm trying to decompress, I have a guilty pleasure, a little Xbox. I have
Oh,
some
there you
video games here and there. So
Awesome. What particular game do you like to play on the Xbox?
it's not Fortnite.
No, thank you.
Yeah.
It's not.
Not Fortnite.
I play a wide variety of games, but yeah, I mostly like the shooter games, Overwatch.
It's
stuff like that.
Minecraft, isn't it?
Minecraft is awesome.
Yeah.
Dan actually saw that I had Minecraft on my computer one of my first days in the office. So
Uh-oh.
It's experience for real estate. You're building houses. You're.
Yeah, there you go.
So tell me, what inspired you to get into just for the listening audience here is Justin is the rookie, so he's brand
Soon to
new.
be Rookie of the Year.
Soon to be rookie of the
that's
year.
right. Thank you, Brian.
So yes, we have faith in you.
yeah.
And as you're sitting around, you're playing Minecraft or whatever it is you're doing there, and you're like, trading stocks. You're like, I want to get into real estate. What inspired you to do that?
So I've been working in the restaurant industry for the last 10 years, and I've met a lot of people, and everywhere I go, people always said, you're good at talking to people. And I've seen a few colleagues make the transition to real estate from the restaurant industry and do really well because it's a people business. We're talking to different kinds of people every day, and I feel like real estate is the same way, so it's a pretty natural transition for me.
Awesome.
I think another thing is it's so service oriented, and just being willing to have a servant's heart and care for people is a huge deal. I think that's a good background. If I recall, that was part of your background, Dan.
It is, yeah. And I think you told me early on, when you have that kind of anticipation of the needs of the clients that it really becomes something that is an extension of what we do as real estate agents, is being able to anticipate those needs. It's huge.
And just to be adaptable to like different scenarios. You never know what's going to come at you in real estate or the restaurant industry. So I think that's another. Yeah.
So Justin, what are your goals in real estate?
Honestly, I would really like to be able to help my friends and family and just the people that are important to me get into the right home. And, the people I haven't met yet, it's just seeing somebody in a home that makes them happy is a very, rewarding experience. And I've always been interested in sales, but I want to sell something to someone that they want. And I feel like that's a big difference in real estate and other types of sales.
That's not what you told me. You said you wanted to meet Chip and Joanna Gaines.
Oh, yeah?
No? Okay. I'm sorry. I wrote that down wrong. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
So are you planning on specializing in a specific market?
I am. I really love, one of my neighborhoods that I grew up in was Houghton, and it's in Kirkland, 108th Street near 520. And it's a beautiful family neighborhood, great schools, and it meant a lot to me. I think the person I am is partly because I grew up in such a great neighborhood, and I'd really like to, help people share in that experience that I was able to have growing up.
So tell me about that neighborhood. Like, did you have friends living across the street? What was it like?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it was a family neighborhood, and lots of kids playing in the street. It's safe. There's parks. You're just a quick little drive from downtown Kirkland, like with the beach. You have a beautiful college campus right there, Northwest College, and yeah, it's pretty great, Dan.
Cool.
So I'm going to put you on the spot here, Justin.
Perfect.
Tell us why a buyer or seller should consider hiring you.
So as they wanted to let you know, I am the rookie, and so that means I have the most free time. And
we'll fix that.
Yeah. And I have the most free time, and if you are my client, the best part of it to me is I have support of Brian and Dan. It's for the parts that I'm still learning, but when you need someone to talk to right now, I'm going to be available, and I think that's something a lot of more experienced agents might not be able to bring to the table.
Yeah, great answer. Okay, so I alluded to it a little bit, and I already asked Gabby this question. Aaron, I'm going to ask you that question too, so you get more time to prepare, but I want you to kind of visualize your summer or visualize a holiday, visualize something that you can kind of go back to visually. Tell me about that episode growing up.
In my home?
Yeah.
Probably Christmas time. My mom goes all out for Christmas. She decorates our house. I mean, we have a closet just for Christmas stuff that she brings out every year. And so I can always just picture it always felt like a home having all my relatives over, and we usually did it at our house, and it's something that's really stuck with me and like made those kind of things, holidays and stuff with my family, really important to me. And yeah, it's something that I hope to do, in the future with my family.
See, and the reason why I bring that up, Brian, is, we all can connect with the home,
right?
And usually it's around gatherings, right?
That's right.
And so without even kind of leading you in there, it's like, this is a gathering. It's in the home, right? That's what we get to be a part of. So that's pretty awesome. All right. So, Justin, I don't have any more questions for you. Anything else you want to tell the listening audience about you and your plans of world domination in the world of real estate?
It's to be TBD. To be determined, but the sky's the limit, and I'm really excited to be here. Thanks for having me, Dan.
Awesome. Thanks for being on. All right. After the break, our next guest is Aaron Grace, and it will be a fantastic interview. So come on back after the break.
Not sure if now is the right time to sell? Worried you missed the market? The Eastside Real Estate Team specializes in helping homeowners maximize their equity when selling. With our proven premier listing service, our clients have sold their homes for more money in less time than the competition. We know you have many choices when working with a real estate agent, but with the Eastside Real Estate Team, you get a team of highly qualified, experienced agents. From staging to deciding if your property is market ready for top dollar. If you're considering selling, call the Eastside Real Estate Team at 425-200-4093. Or check out our website at the eastsiderealestateteam.com, a subsidiary of Keller Williams Realty in Bellevue.
Be sure to support the sponsors of your favorite shows on Alternative Talk 1150.
All right, welcome back to Real Talk with Brian and Dan. I'm Dan.
I'm Brian.
And we are sitting here with Erin Grace. Erin Grace is an experienced real estate agent with licenses in both California and Washington State. She's been licensed in Washington since March of 2018, and prior to that, has been a California real estate agent since 2006. Now, upon moving to the PN Dub, as we like to call it here, in 2018, she joined Keller Williams Realty in Bellevue and then joined the team. Erin is becoming a real estate agent. What? No, that's not what it says here. Sorry. Let me start it over.
Slow down. Erin, you don't need
Do you
to be
want me to
nervous.
help?
No, just relax. It's all going to be fine. Pick it up, Dan.
Yeah. Prior to Erin becoming a real estate agent, she was a successful Los Angeles-based wedding planner. This role has given Erin a keen connection with individuals while working with them on a lifetime event, similar to that of being in real estate. Her ability to walk them through two of life's big events with ease and comfort is the value she has been able to bring to her clients throughout the years. Please welcome Erin Grace.
Yay, thank you. I'm so happy to be here.
All right. This is, I'm going to give this one to you. Go ahead,
Sure.
Ryan.
Hey, Erin, before we jump into the real estate related questions, tell us about yourself.
Okay. So I've just recently come to the Pacific Northwest, the Seattle area. I live in the Redmond area, so that's kind of the area that I'm going to focus in. So yeah, I've been here since 2018, and I'm happy to be here.
Okay. So what do you do when you're not selling real estate? Tell me about your hobbies, your interests.
So I go back to California pretty often. I would say at least one weekend a month. So I get to go back and see my family and my children. And the other thing that I really, really love to do, and I say that I work for, is definitely to travel. I love traveling the world.
Okay. So what's your most recent travel that you finished?
So I just got back from London, which I absolutely loved, and loved all of the high tea experiences.
And you went on the Eye. Is that what it's called? What's that thing that goes
I went
around?
the London Eye, yes.
London Eye.
Mhm.
Why do they call it the Eye?
I have no idea.
I have no clue.
Anybody?
Nobody.
I don't know.
It's a big Ferris wheel.
All right.
So
Somebody.
There you go.
It's somebody watching the show, maybe, or listening to the show, can maybe inform us as to why it's called the London Eye.
So, Erin, what inspires you?
Well, hardworking people inspire me. I love to listen to Gary Vee. I watch Oprah, not her other stuff, but I like to read her books and stuff like that. But Hal Elrod. So I like to read a lot of these big people's books in terms of just kind of seeing and hearing what they went through in life and their struggle and how they've made it. So those people inspire me.
So, like, I've heard Gary Vee on the radio, but I have no idea, or not on the radio, YouTube. On the YouTube.
Yeah.
On the YouTube.
On the YouTube.
On the
Okay.
YouTube.
What? I mean, what's his story? I don't know anything about
So he is from Belarus. His family came here, and his dad worked at a liquor store. And so eventually the dad bought the liquor store. And so Gary Vee was like, I don't know, 8 or 10, and he was helping his dad at the liquor store. He eventually created WineLibrary.com. Is this going to be a Gary Vee ad or something?
No, not at all. I'm just curious why that
Here's
inspired
what
you.
drives.
So I really admire his struggle because he's constantly talking about his upbringing, where he came from, all the hard work that he had to put into it, and he's super duper successful right now. So I really love him.
Well, and it seems like to me you've worked pretty hard in your life too.
Yes, absolutely,
So that resonates with you.
exactly.
Awesome. All right. So your favorite pastime. What do you like to do? What is your favorite pastime? Sorry.
So I grew up in a old Victorian home. It was built in 1901, and it was in the city of Los Angeles. The actual name of the street was City View. So this Victorian home sat up on a hill, and we had amazing views from our porch to the city of Los Angeles. So I loved that home. If I could buy that home, I would. But I loved that home. I was born and raised in that home, and we had a huge backyard. So playing with my brothers in the backyard, we would skateboard in our backyard. We would play baseball in our backyard. So I have two brothers, and I'm the only girl. So they taught me to really be a tomboy, if you will. They taught me how to fight.
So I also heard you're a baseball fan, right?
Yes.
And who are you a fan of?
My team is
Mariners?
the St. Louis Cardinals.
St. Louis.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
I do.
Right
The backup plan is the Mariners for sure.
That's good. Well, the Cardinals are a National League team, so
Yes.
you can. I've been told you pick one National League team
That's right.
and one American League team. So,
Yep.
yeah.
So I can definitely be a fan of the Mariners.
Okay.
So why did you get into real estate?
So I got into real estate. I got my license in 2006, and it was just one of my friends and I decided to take the test. There was no real reason or rhyme, but I will say that I got into real estate on accident, and I've stayed on purpose. So
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. So your favorite part of being a real estate professional?
So my favorite part is really helping people through this. Sometimes it's not so easy time. So being a wedding planner has really taught me to deal with people and their emotions and help them through this time. So really it is to help people either find a home, a new home, or sell a home.
Awesome. Now, sorry, I'm going to jump in here, Brian.
You do.
I want a horror story about wedding planning. There's got to be some good stuff in there, right?
So what I like to say is...
Don't mention names or places.
No.
Change the names.
What I like to say is that I don't get a lot of bridezillas. I never really did, but I did get momzilla a few times, or those best friends that didn't help at all and then show up on the wedding day and all of a sudden want to tell me what to do.
Awesome.
So just another question for you, but just sharing a thought. Erin and I, our desks are by each other in the office, and I love listening to her call clients because she'll call a client in English and then Spanish. English, Spanish. I love that we are really finding ways to reach every member of our community. In fact, Keller Williams Bellevue, I walked through the halls the other morning, I heard 5 different languages being spoken, and so we truly are international. And I really value that Erin's making the effort to reach every member of our community.
Thank you. I like that you brought that up because I really, really do want to say that I enjoy helping my Latino people here in Seattle, and I really do think that they're underrepresented, so I'm here to help them.
Awesome.
That's exciting. So beyond that, why should someone hire you?
Well, first, I'm a businesswoman, so I'm an entrepreneur, and so I think like a business person, and when people come to me, they want to make sure that their investments are handled in a business like matters. So that's number one. But number two is really the joy that I get is handing over keys to someone or just being able to call someone and say, we've got an offer on your home. This is the price. Do you want to take it? And just their excitement. So the joy that I get from helping those people.
Yeah.
Yeah, the joy is contagious.
Yep, for sure. So, all right, I'm asking everybody this question, that personal story, and I heard a little bit of it as you were talking about your brothers teaching you to be a tomboy. Yeah. But one of the things that I like to do is our listeners out there kind of listening to this radio show is every time, for me, and this is the same almost for anybody, but when you start to think back to your home and your childhood, you can picture it. So what is one of your fondest memories from your childhood home?
So from my childhood home, I would say playing with our friends in the backyard. Our neighbors had kids our age. Like our entire block was full of kids, and we would always ride skateboards down the hill because we lived at the top of the hill. So thank God nobody got killed. But yeah, I would say just playing outside with my neighbors. We always were outside, and those memories will never ever leave me.
Awesome. Well, that's Erin Grace with the Eastside Real Estate Team broker partner. Erin will help with both buyers and sellers and is bilingual, speaks English and Spanish. And thanks for joining us today, Erin.
Thank you for having me.
You.
All right.
So you're listening to Real Talk with Brian and Dan, the Eastside Real Estate Team, brought to you almost live from almost downtown Bellevue.
We'll be right back.
Did you know when you pay rent, you're actually paying someone else's mortgage? Are you tired of missing out on owning your own home? Fact. Homeowners on average have 40 times the financial net worth of renters. The Eastside Real Estate Team has been helping many first-time homebuyers find and buy their first home. They specialize in customer service and put you first. They listen first to what you're looking for, and then they take the time to make sure their clients understand every aspect of the home buying process. If owning a home has been your dream, the Eastside Real Estate Team can help you. For a free, no-hassle consultation, call 425-200-4093 or find them online at the eastsiderealestateteam.com, a subsidiary of Keller Williams Realty in Bellevue.
Bringing good vibes to the Puget Sound and the world. Alternative Talk 1150.
Hey, welcome back to the show. Welcome back to Real Talk with Brian and Dan. I'm Dan.
And I'm Brian.
So as we conclude the show, Brian, why don't you go ahead and kind of give me a little bit of an idea. We've been talking all day about home stories. So how did you come upon your home and where you live? And tell me something about that.
I'm so glad you asked. I practiced what I preached on this one and planned out planned to worked the plan. Mm-hmm. And my wife and family have a home we just love dearly. It's perfect for us. And the way that worked out was we were living in Bothell, decided to move to Sammamish, wanted to keep our kids in Lake Washington schools. So my wife, being the planner that she is, she mapped out exactly where she wanted to be. And we wanted to be within 5 minutes of our church. And she liked to be, that put us on a line pretty close to Issaquah School District dividing line. So she took a compass on a map, put the pin on the map, and then marked a 5-minute radius around where we wanted to be. Mm-hmm. And that began our search. And as we looked for the right home, we ended up spending almost a year looking for the perfect home.
Wow.
And one day I called her and I said, Diane, you're not going to believe what house just came on the market. What's that? I said, it's the house that the pinhole on the map is in. And we went over and looked at it. Perfect home.
That is creepy.
And yeah. But, it's interesting because the location couldn't be better.
Uh-huh.
And it's not, okay, truth be told, if anybody asked if my kids were raised in a barn, yeah, it's a converted barn.
It is a barn. Yeah.
It's a barn.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Built 1906 and then an addition in the early 60s.
So does that mean you guys leave the doors open at your house?
Most of the time, sure. Good ventilation.
Just walk on in.
It's not a huge barn. It's about an 8-stall.
Just 8-stall.
Yeah.
Awesome.
But no, we're real thankful to have that. It's been the perfect home for our family.
Awesome.
So
thanks for sharing.
So, okay, Dan, your turn. Tell me about your home story.
Well, yeah, so it's interesting. Maybe it's just Sammamish. Brian and I are both from the same town. But, I had bought my first home back in 99 and living in Linwood. And my daughter was 1, so it was 2002. She was not quite 1, actually, when we found this home. My wife went up to a baby shower of our friends, right? So our friends have this baby shower, and she comes back and she says, Dan, the house across the street from the Thompsons is for sale. I'm like, wow, cool.
Okay.
That's great. I never really thought of making a decision just because a friend had moved nearby. And I got to tell you, it's one of the best decisions that we ever made. I mean, second best decision to me actually saying yes when my wife proposed. That's not true, actually. But, marrying her was the best decision I ever made. But the second best was actually following her instinct. And we moved to this cute 4-bedroom, 2-bath Rambler in Sammamish. And I got to tell you, to all those folks out there that are looking for their home, it wasn't anything spectacular, but we just felt a connection with that home. And over the years, we've talked about hundreds of upgrades, things that we would do to it to change. And actually, I'm proud to say that 16 years later, we're now actually doing the kitchen.
Doing the upgrades.
So
Nice.
So we just live in it, and enjoy it. I've got pictures, and we're going to talk about it on our show next week about some archivists that we work with. But I have pictures of every Christmas of our kids growing up in front of that, in front of the fireplace, and how the house has evolved. It's pretty amazing. So there you go. That's my story. I'm sticking to it.
Well, the first show in the books. Well done, everybody. What do we have coming up next week, Dan?
Well, we have a fantastic show coming up next week on Real Talk with Brian and Dan. Next week, we're going to review March's numbers, and we're going to be discussing the spring market spring, Easter bunnies and all that good stuff.
So March Madness?
March Madness. Yeah, we'll talk about the madness that happened in March. Absolutely. Also joining us will be two fantastic guests. There will be Jamie Bourne with Born to Organize. Will be here. She's gonna jump off with some organizational tips and spring cleaning tips.
Mm-hmm.
Also, we're going to be having Ingina Schulman. Ingina, she owns a company called Lotus Media. They do archival photos and much, much more. So join us next week. It'll be a Wednesday from 3 until 4 with more Real Talk. Thanks for joining us today.